Hello and welcome to Career Magic. This is Nitin Kulkarni with another tip to make things better and to give your career a boost. Now, when I talk to career professionals, when I'm conducting workshops or otherwise, as to how much time they end up spending in meetings or how many meetings they have on their calendar in a typical week, that number varies anywhere from 10 to 20, and sometimes I've even heard numbers more than 20. It's incredible how much of a career professional's time is spent in meetings. Now, this would be great if meetings were extremely productive and you got a lot done in these meetings, but unfortunately they are not. Most meetings end up being not very productive, and some of them are just a downright waste of time. I'm sure you will empathize with that sentiment. So, as a career professional, if you have to be impactful, you have to get the most of your time. You have to get the most out of your time. Now, if you have to get the most out of your time, because a lot of time is spent in meetings, you must get the most out of meetings. How do we do this? Now, I came across this tip from a friend of mine a long time ago, which has really stood me in good stead. And whenever I share this tip with people in my workshops or otherwise, people always come back and tell me that this was one of the most powerful tips they ever received, and it has saved them a ton of time. So, how do we get more out of our meetings? Well, the secret lies in the 4 P's. What are the 4 P's? The first P of effective meetings is purpose. So these 4 P's, what they do is you have to think through these 4 P's as you set up the meeting and include these elements in your meeting invite. So when you are setting up the meeting, so basically you have thought through a number of things before setting up the meeting, which will give you a huge advantage in getting more out of these meetings. So what are the 4 P's? Let me talk about the 4 P's. So the first P is called purpose. You have to be able to state in a short sentence or a phrase what the purpose of the meeting is. For example, you may be scheduling a meeting to find out why a problem happened. There has been a customer complaint or a software error. You want to call a meeting to find out. So the purpose of the meeting is to find out why this problem happened. Really important to nail that and write that down. Be very specific. The second P is called product. Now, product is different from purpose. Purpose is the general reason why you are calling that meeting. Product is what is the tangible outcome or output that you expect to produce from this meeting. So if the meeting is being called to find out why a software error occurred, the product may be identified root cause for this problem, or the product may be a solution to the problem so that this problem will not happen again. That is the tangible output. It's really important to define the tangible output, which I am calling the product, because then it gives you an aim in the meeting to drive your meeting to closure towards that goal. The third P is called process. Now, this is loosely what we call agenda, which is circulated for some meetings. Unfortunately, for most meetings, it is still not circulated. But process is a little bit different from agenda. In process, you write down the steps that you intend to take in the meeting to arrive at that product to meet the first P, the purpose. So in the process, you will write down the steps. So who needs to do what in the meeting? And this gives a clue to people on how to come prepared for that meeting. Okay, so that's the process. And the final P of the 4 Ps is participants. So you must think about, in order to go through this process to produce this product to meet this purpose, who are the people who must be present in this meeting and no more. So identify the correct participants that need to be present so that this meeting request can go to them. Now, when you are sending out a meeting request, the first 3 P's, the purpose, the product, and the process, must be written down in the body of the email. And the subject line would again be the purpose. Okay. So write this down when you send out so that people know. Now, the important thing is, by doing this, it allows you to think through how you are going to get to the output that you desire, and that automatically creates the focus to get the most out of this meeting. Really important. The thinking part is really important. Often what happens is we just slap a meeting invite together, call people, just state the purpose probably, and get in there, and the meeting often gets derailed. So one of the biggest problems with meetings is that they get derailed. This process will help you keep the meeting on track. So let me illustrate with a couple of examples of what the P's might look like. So let's look at the first example. Let's say that you are organizing a meeting to because there are more and more customer complaints coming in regarding regarding the work being done by your team. So your purpose is to address the problem of increasing customer complaints. This automatically brings about a little bit of a focus to the meeting, because this is going to be the topic. Now, if someone tries to take the meeting off on a tangent, it goes off track, you can bring it back saying, hey, the stated purpose of this meeting is this. What you are saying is fine, but let's park it and address it in another meeting. Yeah, helps you keep it on track. For this, supposing now what you want to get out of this meeting is you want to discuss the customer complaints and then end the meeting with 3 ideas on how this problem could be solved. 3 potential ideas. Let's say this is a concrete product. Write this down in the meeting invite. The process, the third P, is how you intend to get to this product. And so here you are going to write down the steps. So you are going to say that, the first step is going to be that Nitin needs to come prepared with customer complaint data, and he should share these trends so that we know what's going on. That sets the good context. The second step is going to be everyone is going to discuss possible root causes. Already then, before people come to this meeting, they are starting to think about how they might contribute to the meeting. Finally, once you have identified possible root causes, you will brainstorm to identify possible solutions and then agree from that list what are the top 3 priority solutions. Can you see now how this sort of focus is bringing you down to a process that will help you get to? Now, will this work every time? Probably not, but does this give you a better chance of getting more out of your meeting? Most of the time, yes. 80 to 90% of the time, you will get more out of your meeting if you think through these steps, document them, and then send it out to all the participants who need to be on this meeting. Let's look at another example. Sometimes the meetings are held just to pass on information. Yeah. So in that, how would this look? So the purpose may be the HR department in your organization is rolling out a new performance appraisal process this year, and you have to inform your team about it. So when you are sending out the meeting invite, you can write it down like this: to inform the team about the new performance appraisal process. What is the product in this case? The product, once you think about it, is a shared understanding of the new process. Everyone should be very, very clear. You have to make sure that by the end of this meeting, everyone is very, very clear about what this is. So what do you need it to do in the meeting to arrive at this product? Okay. Let's say that you are going to share the context for the new process. Okay. So you call that out, that Nitin is going to share this. He needs to come prepared with the background and why this is being done, etc., about this process, why this is happening. Then the details of the new process, let's say, will be shared by the HR partner. So you invite the HR partner to share this so that the team is entirely clear about this process. There might be some questions about the process, so you set aside some time in the meeting to answer those questions, clear those doubts. And after that, you agree on what the next steps are. If there are some lingering doubts, some question marks, the next steps might be to get clarity on that from the HR department, call another meeting, or send out an email clarifying those. Or the next steps might be agreement on this process, and you move on to training people on those steps. So this is how an informational meeting might look like. And again, participants I forgot about. So you will send it to all the people who need to know, your team plus the HR partner, plus do you need anyone else to come in order to provide clarifications, call them. So this is how the 4 P's work. Why does this work? As I said before, it creates the required process and the preparation to get more out of your meeting. As you start doing this, you will find that you are getting more out of your meetings. At the same time, when others are sending you, so slowly as this starts to take shape, as this starts to work, when others are sending you meeting invites, ask them these questions. Okay, what is the purpose? What is the product? How do you intend to get there? Can you please write that in at least with your team, you can enforce that. You can convince them to do it because this process has started working. But even others, your peers outside, other groups, you can start telling them, hey, can you do this? Because it will be really helpful for me to prepare. I'll come prepared if you document this. Spread the word and start doing more of this, and you will see that magic will happen in terms of your meetings starting to produce better results faster and not going off track very often. So try that. If you like these 4 P's, like these suggestions, do hit the like button, leave a comment for me, subscribe to my channel. I keep posting these sorts of videos. Hopefully they are helping you get ahead. Thank you and all the best.